Let me show you how you can use color gradient to pick the perfect color scheme for your art. You'll need a basic line art, and I did the flowers on their own layers so I can treat them and change the colors separately from the rest. So line art, then details on its own layer. And to make everything look a bit more pretty, I will make a very easy background where I use a light gray and then go darker and darker and darker. I do not use color at this stage because the color gradient we're later going to use are going to do that for me. So I don't need to worry about that. I only need to do this in black and white. I will then color all her clothing in one layer in any color theme I want. So in this case, I picked green. I want each section to be in a different hue and depth, so there will be a difference when we put a color gradient on top of this. If I make everything one flat color, it will not be as dynamic as it is when you do things in different shades. Skin color and hair will be on a separate layer above the clothing. Next step is to make a new layer and pick a purple dark color. This is going to be our shading. It will not matter what color gradient we will later pick. Picking purple and multiply as filter on that layer will work with almost any color scheme you want. Now make a new layer on top of the colors for the clothing and add in your color gradient. Remember to make the layer a clipping mask so it follows your already painted layer and don't go outside the lines. Photoshop allows you to then, when you already placed the gradient, to change what gradient you want to use. They have a built-in library, and here is where you play around. You can also change the filter function on the layer to multiply or color or anything you would like to make it look as you want. You will also make a new layer on top of the background and pick a gradient that will fit the background. Keep these two separate. If you have one gradient layer on top of everything, it's hard to control because you will probably not want the same gradient in the background as the foreground, in this case your character. You want the character to stand out. You don't want the character to be the same color as the background. That's why you want two different layers. And now it just comes down to having fun. Thanks to the multiply layer with shadows on top of everything, you will not have to worry about the shadows. It will correct itself depending what colors you choose. The background started out as gray and will automatically change depending on what color you put on top of it. Everything will change dynamically depending on what you pick. So it is up to you. What feeling do you want to portray with this art piece? Do you want it to be happy? Do you want it to be gloomy? Do you want it to be sorry? Do you want it to be warm, light, cold? Everything can be changed with just a couple of clicks. You don't need to recalculate shadows and highlights. It will do this automatically, which is saving a lot of time. But at the same time, there will be so many color combinations that you can do that this will most likely be the spot you will spend most of your time on if you're anything like me.